Hey y'all. Well, I was out here getting ready to do an oil change on this new Bonneville, and see there, I got some supplies. And I thought I'd take a moment while I was out here just to show you how to tell if you got a broken balancer on one of these, if it hasn't quite come all the way off on the ground somewhere. You know, you heard in the other video, it's making kind of a gasoline noise. Rattle, 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 and it kind of goes away when it's revved up. But it's probably not going to be easy to, whoops, especially my finger there. There's the balancer, there's the crank, it's the crank pulley-in balancer, it's all made into one, and you see the belt there taking off up in the distance, and that's the water pump and the tensioner you see, and then the alternator's way up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my hand, see my hand there, and I'm going to rotate this pulley, the outside part of it, and watch, you'll see that the rest of everything is whoops, what's going on there? Oh, I had my hand on the zoom, sorry about that. You'll see the rest of the things are also turning. You see that? It goes and then it hits a stop right there, and it comes back. Now, look over here when I'm doing this. This is not the whole crankshaft turn. There's no way in the world I could turn this crank by my hand, by my fingers. Watch the outside of it. See there? See, there's part of it turning and then the rest of it's not. Well, I don't know if you can see real good. I'll show you more when I get this off. Probably do this maybe tomorrow or Sunday. But pretty much right in there, where that crack is, right there along the circumference, right, just right there in the center, that's supposed to be bonded together with rubber, and it's broken apart, so the outside of the crank shaft is turning independently of the inside to a degree. It can't go all the way around, or it wouldn't even, the alternator or nothing like that even turn. I guess it's designed that way as a safeguard, but that's what's rattling, and it's definitely got to be repaired. There's no fixing that. So I was under here, one other thing, I was looking under here and couldn't hardly find the oil filter on this car. I remembered kind of where they were on the older ones, but this one, there it is. There's the oil filter, and that's why I couldn't really tell. It looks like it's just a part of the engine. It's got so much oil and sludge and everything on it. So there's obviously, it's been a long time since this oil has been changed in this car. That's a shame, but that's par for the course when you have people that can, like I've said before recently, when people can barely afford to even put gas in a car, the last thing they're going to do is change the oil on it. So it's a shame, but we'll make it better. I'm not made of money myself, but I got enough to change the oil filter and the air filter and all that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to service it, and it's a little bit low on coolant, although I don't see any coolant leaking anywhere. It looks like it does look like it may have a slight leak over here on the corner of the radiator. You see there, it's kind of looks like it may be seeping. Oh, wait a minute, I see a little bit of, I don't know if that's recent or what. Looks like it's coming around the front, so it's probably going to have a radiator pretty soon. What else? This car's got there's something else too. I think this car has, yeah it does, because that's what those tubes are. This car has an oil cooler. That's what those tubes are. There's one down there, and then the ones over you'll see right there, that's the trans cooler, which I'm going to probably do the official Retro Chad approved transmission cooler job on this one. But it's also, I think, I may be mistaken, but I think that's what this is under here, has a power steering cooler. So where is it? Where is it? Yeah, lost it. There it is. I think that's what that is right there. I guess I figured that people were going to really be driving these 165 horse engine pretty hard, I suppose, but And once I do that, I'm going to do some checking. It's got a service engine soon light that's on. It's on all the time, so that means when they're on all the time like that, that means it's a hard fault, which in other words means it's something that's going on all the time. It's not going away. So, but just from casual observation, I don't really see much anything that looks terrible on this. Just basically a greasy, seepy engine. But I bet it will need a radiator. I shouldn't say it because it'll probably jinx it, but there's a vehicle right around here that's got 200,000 miles on the original radiator, if you can believe that. And I know it's original because it's got a GM sticker and part number and the date and everything on it. Okay, let me quit yakking and get busy. Wow. Wonder how much this windshield is going to cost. Maybe not much, it's not a very big windshield. Well, I'll let you know. See ya. Well, this could be the what does oil look like after 25,000 miles video, but it's not. It probably is what oil looks like after 20,000 miles, I guess. Again, part 2. But, oh, it came out of this poor old 3800. Oh, it just drives me crazy. I wish people would just take care of stuff, you know. Look at that. But hey, still running so far. Whew. Hey guys, take a look at this. This is the filter I just extracted out from under this Pontiac. Well, Buick-ack, I guess it is. It's got a Buick engine. I guess if this is not a testament to how good these engines must be, nothing is. This filter has been on there so long that it's actually looks like it started leaking a little bit from the seal. The seal's kind of looks like it kind of, I don't know, got depressed down in there a little bit, whatever. But look at this. That's how bad it is. That's how dirty the oil has been in this thing. Look at the outside of it. I don't even know what kind of filter it is. I thought it was just black until I started actually scuff some. Oh no. This is just a blue version of the worst filter you can buy. You know which ones I'm talking about. Everybody knows that by now. The radioactive canisters. I'm not going to say their name on it. God, look at that oil. Ugh. But God, it's terrible. I wonder if it's got a date on it. It's got some stamping on the bottom of it. This is 01/22 of 10 is the date on this filter, so it could be assumed that this filter's been on there somewhere over a year. And if somebody drives a car every day and it's, you know, or they put say 2,000 miles a month on it, then if it's somewhere around a year, it's probably got 25,000 miles on it, just like I said. Well, that is sure as hell is not going to go, that kind of filter is sure not ever going to go back on this car. I use either these or, oh no, got oil on it, yeah. Either use these or use a Wix. That's the only two I use anymore. And for you Ford guys out there, that FL1A Motorcraft, these people make those filters, so it's either or. You can use these or a Motorcraft, but they're mainly the same thing. Of course, don't use the radioactive canister. If you're wondering what I mean, I'm trying not to say their name. I don't want to get any kind of, you know, I mean, I'm not scared of them, but I don't want anybody just to have reason to give me shit about it. But you know, just look up, just Google radioactive oil filter canister, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Never use those. I also don't use the factory type of oil filters for these cars, these GM cars. You'll know which ones those are. I don't use those either because they cheapen them down. Now they're made by, you know, there's only about 2 or 3 manufacturers of oil filters, and there's like 2 really cheap ones, a line of cheap ones, and then there's Purolator and Wix. I guess that's about 4, but and Hastings. So just avoid the cheap ones anymore. You know, the gray ones that you get at the parts store, don't get those. Don't get the house brand. You know, just avoid all that, because those are the cheapest filters that they can get. When you go, I guarantee you the way this one came, this car probably had its oil changed at one of these little quick places, and they get them in bulk. And you know, they may have an oil manufacturer's name on them, but they're the same filter as like what you buy at the parts store or the big box place, something like that. Unless you get a Wix, unless you get a Wix filter or a Hastings or a Purolator, you know, you can draw your own conclusion there. Well, let's put it this way. How many times have you ever seen one of these quick places use a Purolator filter or a Wix filter or a Hastings filter on their oil changes? Never. I haven't. There's a reason for that, folks. It's called money. So buy cheap, sell cheap. Alright, let's wrap this up. Welcome back. I just got finished hitting my head on the hood of the car here. When I was putting oil in here, I happened to spot a vacuum line that was off right here. I don't know exactly why that was off, but this is one of those that's just turned like really spongy. It's probably leaking a little bit anyway, but pretty bad shape there. So all the cracks in it. So anyway, I traced it down, and it goes down. One of those lines that you see here goes to the modulator valve, but the other one still got a little bit where I pulled this one off. I'm about to replace it, but it goes over from that line there and runs over to the vacuum. There's a vacuum line on the charcoal canister over here, so I was putting an air filter in also. So this is the line I pulled off here, and this thing was just totally destroyed from age and heat. Maybe some gas fumes also. See if I can. This actually is just so bad that it's not doing it now, but you can see it. It's just collapsed and split apart. Just gone. You know, you can see inside of it. See there? Piece of shit. So anyway, I got some more vacuum line. I'm going to go ahead and fix that. So it's the second time I found a vacuum leak on this, and on my car like this. I found on that Riviera, I found one on it in almost the exact same place. So if you got one of these cars, check them, make sure they're not leaking vacuum somewhere. Alright, back to it.